sometimes you have to be a lion so you can be the lamb that you are. But I just started there.
I'd crush you.
Bro, I've always been creating, man.
Okay.
At some point I was a rapper. Like, it's cool to impress your friends, but like, it's important to try to figure yourself out as soon as possible.
Yes.
Because, I mean, for me, it's only like, success would only make me crazy in the right way. Like, pause, because I'm not gifted school-wise.
I feel you.
You know, but I'm gifted like arts-wise, because even my high school marks were like, man, looking at my journey, I've realized I've inspired a lot of people. I'm more of a person that if I want to get up today and do something, I don't want to need you to do it. And I just work, bro. I make toys every day.
When does the idea for making toys start germinating in your mind? Okay.
Yeah, he has sold some pieces to like Jay-Z and people like that. So, well, the name and the brand are inspired by two different things.
And you're live on Dead Radio.
Welcome to another very special episode of Dead Radio with your boy Ini, and today, oh man, we have one of my favorite creatives right now doing crazy amazing work. We're gonna let our guest introduce himself, and then we're gonna get into his life story, and you know how we do, get those jewels for you guys to use in your everyday lives. So without further ado,
Sanborna, hello, Kamalam Sanele Qwabe. I'm a toy designer, toy maker, whatever. That's just my primary medium of expression as an artist. But Umguni, Kayeye, Pagatwai, Kuzwai, all the way from KZN.
yes sir, I love it. How are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling very inspired.
I love that. I love it.
Yeah, like the store.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You know, I think I met up with him yesterday, and like he's downplaying like how incredible this is.
The store is, right?
Yeah, man, this is a huge achievement. So I'm inspired to be here, to be in your guys' presence.
I feel you. Shout out, bro. To predict the future, you have to look into the past, right?
Okay.
And to give people context of who you are today, we have to dive into your past. Okay. So let's talk about Sanele as a kid, right? Where were you born? Where did you grow up? And most importantly, were you a kind kid?
So growing up, I grew up in around this area called Richards Bay.
Okay.
It's just along the north coast, like north of Durban.
Okay.
I lived around, like my family moved around a lot within that area.
Okay.
But mainly like a place called Eskawini, and like Felton Flay. Some people might know it, but around that area. And I never really had like how can I say this, like a place where, you know how some people that grow up in the hood,
yes,
they have like these friends that they grow up from, like
from when you're a kid until
so I never had that I wish I did, like I never,
because you moved around, right?
The only people that like I think I would consider like growing up with are people that I went to like school with, because I was in the same school for like same primary, same high school.
Okay.
You know.
So you moved houses, but you went to the same school.
Yeah, I'm just lucky that my parents didn't do this whole thing of like from city to city, you know, even though, you know, I wish.
I feel you.
You know.
And were you a kind kid as a kid?
Yes. As a kid, yes. I think I was, man. I was very aware.
Okay.
As a kid, I was a very aware human being as a kid. Like I was of my surroundings, of other kids, of where I am. And something that I took with me growing up, and all the way to like high school, man. Like,
Okay.
because like in a very early age, I think in the beginning of high school, I decided I want to try everything. You know, I was like, I want to try everything just so I know what I like and what I don't like.
That's such a brilliant insight for a kid to even have. How did you know to try so many different things? Because I think most people only realize that the more things you experience, the more you get to learn about yourself, right?
Yeah.
How did you know as a kid to do all these various like different outlets?
So as like, I think a part of me considers myself like an engineer and innovator, you know. So in that part, you try to, how can I say this? Like you try to figure out what works and what doesn't, and you enjoy creating, and you enjoy like, you know, some engineers enjoy taking the camera apart.
Yes, and just reverse engineering it.
Yeah, like like that whole experience of figuring out things, I really enjoy. Like I'm skinny as hell, and I tried rugby.
Oh, crazy.
You know, like I tried everything. Like I did cricket. The only thing I didn't do was like hockey.
Okay.
And like I think chess. Like, but I'm only.
Yeah, I'm a big chess guy.
I only started like playing it proper like maybe this year.
Okay.
You know, but I wish I was in like a club in high school.
I get you.
You know, so
we need to play one day.
Yeah, I play online, man.
Me too. I play with
let's
people
go.
all over the world.
Bro,
They're
my
crazy. What's your ELO rating?
my rating, cause I just got on the app like maybe like
then it's low.
like a month ago, so it's like maybe close to 200.
Nah, it's low.
Yeah, but I just started though.
I'll crush you.
Bro, I was playing with my my girlfriend's younger brother.
Yeah.
He's like in matric, I think now, and yo, he's like he goes on like tournaments.
Oh.
So yo, he whipped my ass,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah,
I was like, yo, I need to up my game.
Yeah, once I started playing online, I started realizing that, yo, there's like really great chess players.
Yeah, man.
But okay, so that's you as a kind kid, right?
Yeah.
How do you transition from being a young man to like your teenage years? What are some of the creative things you start getting into? Like, when does that part of your brain actually really start getting unlocked? Like, what mediums are you consuming? Maybe you're not even creating at that time. Maybe it's like music.
Man,
maybe
I've always been creating, man.
Okay.
At some point, I was a rapper.
Oh.
You know.
I love it.
So I've always been creating, like dancing, crumping, whatever.
Okay.
You know. So
okay.
like I said, like I tried everything, man. Like, and I think what separates me from a lot of people, and I like to tell this to the kids as well, is that like once you get rid of this thing of like doing things for people or your friends and stuff, like it's cool to impress your friends, but like it's important to try to figure yourself out as soon as possible, because when you try things, people laugh at you and you know they try to make fun of you, but then you need to recognize that it's just, I don't want to say it's an insecurity.
It is.
But they're projecting.
Yeah, they are projecting.
They're projecting.
And they're spectators.
So, like, if you like anime like me, just watch it, bro. Okay. It's cool. Like, it is just because somebody is saying bad things or discouraging you, as if it's like you should be doing something else. Like, get that feeling out the way as soon as possible, because you're gonna open doors for things that are meant for you.
Yeah.
You know?
I get that.
Yeah.
I get that.
And you're live on Dead Radio. And and you're live on Dead Radio.
Okay, so the end of high school, right? When you are now figuring out your career path in terms of what you're going to go and study, what was your perspective on the world? What did you want to go and do, at the end of matric? And what did you go and study at UP?
So my journey, so I've always been into animation.
Okay.
So towards the end of my high school, I was already dabbling in little bits of it.
What program were you using?
Mainly it's always been Blender. It's like a free software.
Shout out to Blender.
Yeah, man, and
that's crazy.
I've been there from a long time ago, and how it has grown, and how I think it's gonna take over in the next 10 years, because it's a free software.
Yes.
And there's people that volunteer to make it better.
One of my favorite things about the internet is how information is open source.
Yeah.
So anyone can go on youtube.com and be like, how to whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how I even found out about Blender and Unity, but that's a conversation.
Yeah, but for me it's mainly Blender.
Okay.
But then so now in my matric year, I applied to I only applied to the animation school.
Okay.
Which I think it's in Cape Town. But that's when reality just hit me.
You.
Because I didn't have the money to go to a private.
It's super pricey, right?
Yeah, man. Before even the fees, there's accommodation, and accommodation is crazy. So I had to take a gap year, and in that gap year, I figured out a lot of things. I only applied to 2 schools. I applied to UP and WITS.
Okay.
And I knew I wanted to do something with branding and design, because it ties into creating.
Yes.
I'm very much into anything design.
Okay.
I like creating brands that people can
gravitate
and interact with, and plus it ties in with animation as well.
Yes, sir.
So I got into UP for a 4-year honors degree at the School of the Arts there. They have this new thing, a separate thing. It's called School of the Arts. But I wanted to go to WITS, But around that time, it was the fees must fall. So I got accepted at WITS, but my acceptance came after UP. So I had already registered at UP, and then they came back.
Okay.
But I honestly, it's just God,
Yeah, he guided you.
So I'm okay, cool.
Let me go to
and then I just did design, That's the journey through my
university years.
I was very much, I don't want to say reserved, but I was very focused. I didn't go out.
Okay.
I didn't go to clubs or.
I hear you.
I just go to school and come back home and just work. Because at the time I was very much into films.
Yes.
And
yes.
I did a lot of film work, a lot of animation work. Come back home, just do that. I did more of that than the school stuff.
Okay. Okay.
And mainly it was out of fear, because I didn't want to fail a year.
Yes.
Because I didn't have the luxury
of failing
because I have to pay for another year.
Yes, sir.
So out of fear of that, I don't want to put my dad in
a situation
where
he's
man.
Bro.
So I just.
You knew you had to take advantage of the
and responsibility,
yes.
for myself to know as long as I'm doing the first year and I pass, second year and I pass, because I'm not gifted school-wise.
I feel you.
But I'm gifted arts-wise, because even my high school marks were for arts, I was like 95.
Oh, crazy.
You know, because I know where I'm at. I know what's for me and what's not.
What's
you know,
not, yeah.
and you know, I wish schools would like engineer things in that way. You know,
I think you tapped into a very important point, the school system, right? Because the school system is designed, or it even comes from a time when basically people worked in factories, right?
Yeah,
And that's why the psychology of like the bell ringing, all of us sitting at a table, it was all designed in a time that is so long ago, and it has never been updated.
Yes, yes.
So like a lot of kids are like forced into one pipeline, and like there's so many different types of kids, you know?
Yeah.
And like that's the problem with the school system.
Yeah, which is like why I like when you travel across the country, there are like institutions that engineer kids in specific. There's like, I think there's like the school in KZN, close to Durban. It's just a high school, and it's teaches kids like farming, everything about farming. And I think things like that are like really good, you know. Like it's just, they just focus on that.
On the farming, I get you.
And there are like some, it's just not a lot.
Yeah, we need more.
Yeah, we need more,
way more.
especially government-wise, like, because these are usually like private institutions, you know.
Yes.
Like I wish, because I mean, I even did maths lit, you know, because I knew.
It wasn't for you.
It's not for me. It's not that I'm not smart.
Yeah,
it's just not
for you.
It's
like
not for me, man.
People's brains are wired in different ways.
Yeah,
you know,
man.
like left brain, right brain. Like those are real things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because even in school, you know, it's like there's a varsity, there's the parts, like with even if you're in that program, there are parts that you know you're not gonna be good at.
I'm not gonna be good at this thing.
Like the theory. You know.
Yeah. Okay, you spoke about you getting into film, you getting into animation, and I did a deep dive into your YouTube channel, right? And I started discovering music videos and stuff.
Yeah, I used to.
So you were shooting videos for artists, like, or what was? Tell me about that.
So that journey as well started in high school.
In high school, okay.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Like, man, looking at my journey, I've realized I've inspired a lot of people, but by mistake.
You were just doing your thing.
Yeah, I just, like how I said, like just do whatever you feel like doing, just do it. Like, cause some people just hesitate, and me and my friends were kind of like the first people within that area to do things like that.
Okay.
You know, so it started out as like something fun. We would do like dance videos. Yeah, man. God bless my father for buying me a camera, man.
Dope.
You know, that was great. So it started in high school. I was doing dance videos and then a couple of music videos for people. You know, and it grew and it grew, and yeah, just at some point I realized it's not something that I want to do.
It's not a medium you prefer.
Yeah, mainly because, well, a couple of reasons. Just for me as a person, how can I explain this? Like, I need the artist, the musician.
I hear that.
I'm more of a person that if I want to get up today and do something, I don't want to need you to do it. So now I have to look for a musician to create.
Yes.
You know, so I'm like, no, man, I can't. I'm only gonna do this thing if it feels right. You know, if it's someone that I really want.
I hear that. I hear that. And being dependent on an external factor to create will always cause a hindrance. Like,
yeah, man. Even with the animation and film.
Yes.
Film, you know, I need the actors.
Yes.
I need, you know, I'm a person that just wakes up and
does his thing.
And I just work, bro. I make toys every day.
I hear that.
I make toys every day, and I don't need anybody to begin.
I hear that.
You know, so but everybody has something for them. You know, I truly believe in that, and the reason why I stopped as well was because I feel like it has its people. God has put that journey on them to do, and they enjoy it, you know, and I'm just gonna step out the way. And if somebody comes, like, I think a person that I would like do it again for is a couple of people, maybe like Umuzi, you know, because I really like the whole brand and idea. So things like that, like I would go back for that, but it's not for me.
Something that you do. And then I also found a podcast on your YouTube page with the two roaches.
Yeah.
I was like, is one of those your voices?
All of them are my voices.
All of them are your voices.
Yeah, all of them are my voices. Yeah.
And what was the thinking behind that? You were just like, yo, I'm just
but it ties back to the thing I was saying, like doing all the voices because I want to wake up and just create. I don't want to have to call someone and be like, hey,
yo,
can you do me a favor?
Okay.
Yeah.
So
just that freedom, man.
I hear that. Let's get back to your timeline.
Okay.
Did you graduate?
Yeah.
Right?
No, I didn't. I graduated, but there was no ceremony because that was the year COVID hit. So I didn't. I think it was 2019.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then graduation was supposed to be the next year, but COVID.
It was supposed to be that year on 2019, but it was like online.
Okay.
I still feel like I'm not.
I feel because you need that ceremony.
Yeah, kinda, you know. But I graduated in 2019, and I haven't even fetched my certificates.
I mean, we're here now. Like.
I mean, we are, man.
Yeah.
We are.
So what happens next for you in your journey? When does the idea for making toys start germinating in your mind?
So animation has always been there.
The thing. Yeah.
So the toy idea, like this cause has always been around, you know.
Yes, of course.
Cause has always been around, but it has never like made me think about doing it for some reason. I don't know why, but I've always done animation. But I think Nakona, it's this thing of not knowing that it's actually possible, that you can actually do it yourself. Until I came across these guys from Korea, South Korea, that are just incredible, man. And they are toy designers. Yo, man, incredible guys. And I'm just blessed to even like, I DM them and they get back to me. And then they give me some knowledge in terms of how to go about it. You know, just connecting with the world as well. And then like, in terms of also like further inspiring me to do it, is this guy called Hebrew Brentley. He's an American artist from Chicago. And he does like figurines as well as paintings. Yeah, he has sold some pieces to like Jay-Z and you know people like that. So, and he does like, I think it was the first time I saw a figure of like a black person. So I was like, oh, you know, and it ties into my sort of like foundation and idea of who I want to be in this world, where I realized just because I saw him do it, now I feel like I can do it. So now I'm doing toys of like African kids.
Yes.
Which kid sees it and now feels like doing it?
Exactly.
You know, because I saw a cause, but I wasn't.
You can't relate to it.
You know.
Right? Yeah.
Like I always say, we need more variations as abantu abamnyama. Like I need to see a black astronaut from South Africa. Because I know there's a kid out there that's gonna be like, oh, now I see it's possible.
Representation is so important.
Yeah.
I'm a nerd, so I consume a whole lot of different content, right? And one of my favorite scientists or astrophysicist is Neil deGrasse Tyson,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah.
he's a black man.
Yeah.
And he makes a lot of like science knowledge very digestible.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're very right about the representation thing. Like it opens kids' minds. Like, oh, I can actually do this thing.
Yeah, man, because it's always there. It's just, I think psychologically we are just.
There's a barrier.
Yeah, there is a barrier. Also in movies and how we are represented in films. People need to be aware of that, you know. Like it's a very, because people like watch movies and they just think it's just a movie. No. But it's not.
It's conditioning you actually.
Yeah, so I'm very meticulous about those little details. Even with Kind Kid, like the brand itself, like there's certain things that I won't do with the brand because I know what it can do to the youth and how much influence somebody can have. So
damn. So you're getting all this information from people, you're getting inspiration from people online. When does the name Kind Kid hit you? Because maybe your brain started turning like in terms of, oh, I can actually make toys. But then you decided to turn it into an actual brand that has intention, right? When does that start like happening in your brain, like the name? Because the name is super important.
Well, the name and the brand are inspired by two different things.
Okay.
You know, the name, I felt like, because even before I did Kind Kid, which I started like early last year, because I've been thinking about making toys.
Okay.
The name came about last year. It was after I made a short film about like, it's called Blue. It's like 15 minutes long. It's about a plush toy finding love in a plush machine. You know, like how that thing with the claws.
Yes. Yeah,
I was thinking, well, I wonder how, if they actually had lives, how would they be, you know? And long story short, it's a love story, and I needed love in my life at the time.
Okay.
You know, so I did like a love story.
Yeah.
And then I got love in my life, you know. And then the reason for Kind Kid is I felt like I needed to be a kinder person.
Okay.
So I like to project to the world something that I want, because I feel like I'm a good person.
Yes.
I just need to work on being a kinder person.
Okay.
And then when it came to the actual toys, it ties back into, I want to see this. I want to see black kids. You know, because it's like, it's something that I don't hide, that it's, I don't think I'll ever make a toy of like any other.
I hear that. Race.
Yeah, just because there is variations for them. Like, there's not for us.
I hear that.
You know, for me. Because at the end of the day, I'm doing it for me as well. You know, and even though there is some things out there, I just think sometimes they are represented not in a way to inspire, you know, because when you look at the first Kind Kid, he has like this helmet that's almost like a god.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
And he's just being. He's not trying to accommodate anybody.
Yes. He's just being.
He's just being. So that's what Kind Kid, the toys, is about. And then the name is just for me to always try to be a kinder person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, damn.
Yeah.
Like, how many variations did it take till you put out the first toy? Like, was that the first draft that came out?
Yeah.
Or, damn.
Yeah, that was the first one. But I did make like a toy of. I first started making the plush toy of the love story.
Yes.
Which is what sparked making
the actual
figure, toy, because I did make like plush cushions, which are very comfortable.
Okay, dope.
But and then I moved on to the toy itself of the blue character. And then that was the first, like, I think toy that I made was of that blue character. And then from there on, it moved on to Kind Kid.
Moved on to Kind Kid.
Yeah, man.
Damn. At that time, besides people online, did you have anyone to reach out to in terms of like, how am I gonna roll this out? Where am I gonna sell this? Were you even thinking about the commercial aspect of creating this thing? Because being a creative is like, you have to walk the fine balance between creativity and commercialization, which is the business side, right? So how were you figuring out like the business side of it?
Okay, so those are two things, right? In terms of there were people in my life that are still today that might not be there for me in terms of the animation and the toys, but as fellow artists, you know, like very close friends of mine, like Pepe Mnguni, like we speak all the time, and I run some things by him, you know, and he also bounces things at me, you know. So it's important to have those relationships.
A community.
And it's also a bunch of people, man, that are just like Siabonga and Yoga. He does like a lot of the Spotify videos, the Jägermeister videos. You know, he's in that commercial space. So when it comes to like people around me, it's always good to have people within your field and people that inspire you. That's the most important thing. Like within your circle. And then when it comes to what is your other
business,
question?
like
the business side. Yeah, the business side. I've always wanted, because I've always done like films, short films, and animated, or I've always wanted to have something tangible for people to have. You know?
I hear you.
So with movies, it's hard for people to walk out with something physical.
Yes.
You know,
it exists in your mind, whatever you're taking.
So that's why I even like figured out how to do the plush toy. You know, I was like, oh, okay, I really like this. I like this. This is living in someone's home.
Yes.
And then the like moved on to obviously Kind Kid. And I'm like, okay. Plus, being an artist, it's expensive, man. Very. Being like in film, it's hard to make the money back.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to make the money back because I used to do a lot of screenings, but I wasn't even making people pay. I just wanted people to come and see it. Yeah, but all that money from shooting, screening, wasn't coming back to me.
I hear that.
You know, so I had to figure out a way to create and
something tangible that people can buy.
Yeah, just so
money.
It wasn't even so to make money. It was so to continue making, because you need money to make.
Yes, and it's a loop. It basically feeds itself.
Yeah, so I needed like money to come back so I can make something else.
I get you.
Because even the films, like I've kind of stopped a little bit just so I can gain capital. Like especially with Kind Kid, like something is definitely gonna come in the future. When it comes to like movies and stuff.
I feel that.
Yeah.
So when did you make the decision? Because I love how Kind Kid is a toy, right? But it's an art piece. It's not a functional toy that you can actually play with.
Yeah.
So what made you decide to make an art piece versus a functional toy that kids, because it's actually a toy for adults?
Yes. So when I started Kind Kid, I wanted it to like live on in gallery spaces. But because it's like kind of like the first of its kind here, I had to kind of make it undeniable for it to not be ignored in a sense. So because I knew if I had to take it like, okay, this is Kind Kid, take it straight to the galleries, they're not gonna
it's gonna be a whole different
they're not gonna turn my way. So I had to work hard in the brand and making it undeniable to a point where galleries are accepting it, because pop art as like a type of as a type of like style and art is not really big in SA. You know, because even the galleries don't really know where to put me. So yeah, man, I think, how can I explain? It's like the journey was to end up in galleries.
Galleries. Okay.
So me now, I'm just working hard to get the credibility
to get
to that point
space,
because it wasn't for like mainly for kids to play with. They can look at it just like how you would look at it.
It's a collectible.
I mean, like you buy a painting and you put it on the wall. A kid doesn't play with the painting.
At all.
You know.
Yes, sir.
So
that was the intention.
That was the intention. The intention was the gallery space, because I want to make less. I want to make less.
So you're not focused on mass, more niche.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
In a country where you're the only, I could be wrong as well.
And sorry, the only mass part of it would be maybe like a collab with like Puma or something.
Okay.
Then we can talk about like, maybe it's like a campaign.
I hear that.
Yeah, that's my vision for like mass wise. But mainly.
And will Kind Kid always be a collectible toy, or will you ever make figures that kids can play with?
I can.
Yeah, because black kids definitely need a toy that like, represents themselves, that they can actually like.
Yeah, man, like everything, you just have to figure it out.
I hear that.
I'm still figuring it out.
I hear that. What's been the most challenging thing being a toy maker in South Africa that us as like fans of the brand are completely oblivious to, because we have no idea?
Jeez, man.
I know you spoke about like, obviously it's an expensive exercise. But what are the other like things that we would never know?
Like what do you mean?
Besides, is money the only barrier to creating
like
toys?
challenges?
Like challenges, like the things where
it's kind of difficult, man, because a lot of people relate to this, that like do like things like take risks. Like even Ubangi Zola, I was telling him about like how I remember he posted something, I think it was the mirror that broke. And I was like, fuck. I know, man, that's a setback.
I know the pain.
But he was like, ish, man, like things happen. And the more you take a risk, the more you are immune to it. So I also feel the same way, where I don't want to say there are no challenges, but you almost expect them. Like for example, for me, like this thing is new. So I'm very aware that I'm gonna have new challenges. So I'm always expecting something. You know, there's a lot of people, you know, trying to infiltrate.
Of course.
You know, things like that, where it's like I'm very much aware of the value that Kind Kid possesses. So I think sometimes people think the artist doesn't know. You know, so I think those are the main challenges, and I wish people who are like investors or whatever would understand that I know the value. I don't need to be like, you can't
Trick you.
You can't manipulate me.
And finesse you.
Yeah, like it's not for sale. It's not, I don't work with alcohol brands.
Okay, yes.
Just by choice, because I mean the name has kid. So like how I was telling you about like those little details that they matter to the kid, the influence, you know.
How long does it take from idea to physical toy? For you, like what's the timeline for creation from idea till physical product?
Man, there is no timeline really, because I take it as an art piece.
Okay.
Because it's, most of the toys are like a feeling, you know, that I have. And then I create the toy. And then I try to make sense of what it means.
Yes,
You know?
okay.
It's almost like how you get a dream, and then like, or it's almost like how you get like a musician would get like a song,
Yes.
or maybe like a melody.
Yes.
And then they would go lace the melody, and then figure out what got me to this melody, what got me to be inspired. Was it the show that I attended last week by
whoever?
I don't know, Nasty C.
Yeah.
What got me to here? Was it going to mhlampe khona umsebenzi ekhaya kuhlatshwa inkomo, and the people abahlaba inkomo are like singing a song? Did I get that melody from there? Because you never know most of the time where the inspiration comes from. You just have this feeling. So it starts with the feeling, and then from the feeling it materializes to what, if like I just experiment with different designs. Like I would for like one toy, I think I would have like 10 different
drafts of designs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Until I'm like, okay, yeah.
That's the feeling.
That's the feeling. And then it's just, and I usually play music around that time. Music that evokes that feeling.
That feeling.
Yeah, I play a lot of music while I'm designing. And also figuring out the colors.
Okay,
Yeah.
yes, because they're also a part of the feeling.
Yeah.
I'm always, like every time I see any of your figures, right, I feel the thing exactly what you're speaking about. Like you're transferring emotion into a physical object.
Yeah.
And that's always been such an amazing thing for me. I remember watching an interview of Kanye and he was talking about the Yeezys that he did with Nike. And the reason that they became so successful is because he intentionally put emotion into the shoe.
Yeah.
And
was
like,
it the Red October?
Yeah, the Red Octobers. Like, yeah, those, it's like you feel something, right? And I'm always, every time I see your toys and I'm like, he's found a way to transfer the emotion.
And I won't lie to you, it's a gift.
It is.
It's a gift, and I'm very much aware of it. I'm just not gonna now like uyiparamisa, because that's not, like, if it's from God, like what's the point? It's not from me, so it's like a vessel almost.
I hear that. You're just a vessel.
Yeah, man, I'm just a vessel. So I just create whatever makes sense. That's why even when I'm like in spaces, I don't really like to go to spaces, because sometimes people tend to think that you're driven by ego, so they treat you a certain way, you know, and I don't like that. It makes me feel weird. I won't lie, it makes me feel weird inside, because that's not the reason why I do this thing for.
The goal,
Yeah.
Damn, how do you, as a creative, right? Because me and the homies are always talking about the role that ego plays, right? And the more successful you become, the more inflated your ego becomes. How do you stay grounded? How do you remove ego from what you do?
So I think the only time ego comes into play is when I have to defend Kind Kid, because there's nobody else that's gonna defend it. It can't defend itself. So that's when like I have to bring those gloves.
Okay, and be like, yo,
no, this is not about that, like at all. You know, that's the only time I think ego comes in, when I'm defending Kind Kid.
And have you thought about, once this becomes a global thing, because it's definitely going to become a global thing, how are you going to keep your ego in check? Because great men have fallen because of their ego. Like, so I'm always very interested in the different barriers that people build to protect themselves and the people that they love from their ego, because success hits people in different ways.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I mean, for me, it's only like success would only make me crazy in the right way. Like I would, man, I don't know, maybe like buy a monkey or something. Like that's the only thing that I could think of that would make me like
wild out.
Like wild out. But besides that, like treating people differently, I don't see it happening, man. Like I respect human beings so much, and I think a lot of other races don't fully understand the meaning of sawubona, you know, and from the person who's like cleaning the building to, you know, the person who's cleaning the garden, usawubona is not just a hello, it's like I see you.
I see you.
Not what you're doing, but I see you. So I'm always grounded in that sense where I really respect human beings. So ego, man, I don't like, it's not even, because I mean, I've been in the industry for quite some time. It's just that people don't know.
Yes.
Like I've done album covers for people. I've done music videos. I've done photo shoots for people. I've done, man, so much.
I feel
you know. So I have an experience. It's not like I just started.
Came into.
Yes. So I do have. I'm just happy that it happened now, that I am what you call this. Experienced in a sense, you know, so nothing is gonna like sway me in terms of.
I love that. Love that.
Yeah.
Okay, dope. As someone who's not focused on money, what's your measuring stick for success for Kind Kid? Like, how are you measuring its success? Like, what does success even look like from your measuring stick for Kind Kid?
As a business, I think sustainability.
Okay.
Like when Kind Kid is able to sustain itself, you know. I think for me that's like success.
Okay.
And also my country being proud of me as much as I am proud of them. Like I think we live in such a beautiful country. There's so many talented people. I wish we could all travel more so that we realize where we come from and how great our country is. There's amazing people, yeah, man. We have the best jazz musicians. We have the best artists, rappers, best painters in the world, you know, and we are like the pinnacle of a lot of things. So I wish people would be more proud of each other.
We are.
Yeah.
Our community and the things that we make. I hear that. I hear that.
We are very like, look at the store, man.
Yeah. Yo, shout out, bro. Yeah.
Like, come on, bro. Like, there's no way. This is not small.
Yeah.
So I'm very much aware of those things.
Okay. Damn. Like, it's so exciting watching your brand evolve, right? Because my first point of reference for Kind Kid, I remember seeing something, because it was at Shelf Life, right?
Okay.
Yeah, and that's when I first saw it. I was like, oh snap. This is about to create a lot of different waves that maybe you as the creator aren't even aware of. But what I wanted to ask you is...
Yeah, man, shout out to Viz.
Yeah. You being a pioneer, right? And basically the only person in your space. Competition, right? Healthy competition is always such a great element in whatever field you find yourself in, because I find that if there's a monopoly or if there's only one person doing one thing, you can get comfortable because you know that like you're the overlord of the space.
I'm not comfortable, man.
I hear that.
Like I'm about to, like I have a flight back to KZN. As soon as I land, I'm working.
I hear that.
So right now, like how I told you, I have a
meeting
after this.
Yes, sir.
You know, I'm always like, so the whole comfortable thing, I don't know, man.
So, do you want competition? Or are you your only competition?
Like, healthy-wise?
Yeah, healthy-wise, of course.
Healthy-wise, man, if you feel like
someone can jump in, then
do it.
Let's go.
Please do.
Okay.
Yeah, man, because it's gonna push me, I know for sure.
Yes.
So please do.
Yeah, that's why I was talking about the healthy competition, because like it's needed, and a lot of innovation comes from healthy competition.
But it can get negative in a sense that like competition is great. But just like how I explained in the beginning, that I'm just a vessel. So if it gets in the way of whatever is trying to be expressed, now I'm just creating to like make a better design or a better this, then it's no longer a competition. But I mean, yeah.
Are you open to kids reaching out to you in terms of like advice, in terms of like, yo, how do you actually create? Are you willing to open source information?
That part is very difficult for me because I am open, but some people just ask because they can.
Yes.
Which can get exploited and saturated. So I'm aware. So I would give, like someone would ask me like, how do I do this? And then I'm like, you go here, and then you learn it here. If you come back to me and you're like, okay, I've learned it here, then I know
that you're serious.
I can give more information.
Okay.
That's how I regulate that part of inspiring the kids.
Because you do need to gatekeep it to a certain extent.
Yeah, man, because once you just give out information, it loses value.
Yes, sir. You know? Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Damn. Every guest who comes on Dead Radio, I always ask them about the evolution of their dreams, right? Because I'm always like super interested in how people's dreams evolve. Like yours obviously was like animation and film, which then eventually led you to creating short films, which then led you to Kind Kid. What's a new dream for Sanele today?
So I've always, through career-wise, I've always pictured myself as an old man. So
why an old man?
No, like so what am I going to be doing at 60?
Okay.
And the reason why I didn't want to become like a soccer player is because by the time you're 30, you're considered old.
It's done.
You know?
Yeah.
So with film, you can be like 60 and like the best director.
Literally.
So that's how I got into film as well. It's like I want my career to
have longevity.
So with toys, at some point, maybe in the next 30 years, I'll just go and become like a beekeeper or something.
I feel you.
You know?
I love that.
So I already planned that out, like, you know. maybe if I can get like a pilot license.
I love that.
So my dreams for me are that for Kind Kid, not just be sustainable, but keeping the essence of what it's about. Like how I mentioned to you, like I don't work with alcohol brands.
Yes.
So once that happens, I'm losing something, you know. So as long as that's maintained, even at a bigger scale,
then you're
like
good.
I'm good, man.
I love
you know,
that.
and bigger pieces.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Bigger
sir.
pieces. Yeah.
Okay.
In very important places.
So landmarks, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yo.
Maybe one next to Mandela Lapana.
Someone at the government, yo, guys.
You know,
we have to make this happen.
At the Mandela Square.
I
know.
love that.
I'm sure kids will want to like take pictures with the Kind Kid.
Facts.
You know?
Facts.
Yeah.
Okay. Damn, bro. As we're winding down this conversation, right? What's your last piece of advice to the kind kids out there, the dreamers, the kids who are obviously being inspired by the work you're doing, who might not even want to go out there and make toys?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What's your last piece of advice to the kind kids out there?
So there's this thing. So when Dave Chappelle was like accepting his
Mark Twain?
yes.
Yes, sir.
He said something to his mom. I might be getting this wrong, but it's along the lines of sometimes you have to be a lion so you can be the lamb that you are, all right?
Yes.
So as a kind kid, you need to recognize that if you're trying to pursue something into this world, like as much as you are kind, you need to have something, whatever it is, whether it's your family, whether it's a vision, like be the lion for that thing so that it can be a kind kid.
I hear that.
You know,
Yes, sir.
so I think that would be my advice to kids out there, is to learn how to fight for something. Doesn't have to be physical.
Yes.
And it doesn't have to be vulgar.
Yeah.
It's just being proud.
Yes.
And not letting anything come in between the vision. So that the vision can flourish like a flower,
I hear that.
without any tampering.
Yes. I believe it's being assertive.
Yes.
Yes.
Because there are a lot of people who are successful that are not, they don't have that character in them, but they are forced to be that.
To be that, yes.
Just so that this thing that they are fighting for can be itself. So I think that would be my advice to the kind kids.
Damn, I love that, sir. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
very
you so
much,
much for your time. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Tell us what your favorite jewel from the episode is, and we'll be back with another episode of Dead Radio. Make sure to get a kind kid, definitely.
And you're live on Dead Radio.